growing and giving are the pathway to a full life. Hi, I'm Laura from Life Coaching with Laura. And I heard Tony Robbins say something the other day that I just thought was so brilliant and so simple. And it was simply this, that the two things we need in life are growth and the ability to give. And I know that he loves God, but I also know that he got that from the Bible, right? Because the Bible says it is blessed to give than to receive. The Bible says a lot about generosity. The Bible says a lot about giving. And if you've been a giver in the past, then actually what happens is that your life gets blessed when you're the giver. Now, I know we all have been touched when people have given to us and we've been the receivers. And there is something really, healthy and holy that we can get to the place in our life when we can be great receivers. Most of us aren't. And it's an area that we can grow. But we've also experienced that when we give to others, their joy actually becomes our joy. It's like the more that they become increased, well, then we become increased. And that's also what the Bible says. We're never more poor than when we don't give. Isn't that a supernatural paradox, right? The Bible says that the more that we give, the more we'll actually have. And I want to give it to you in an allegory that will make sense to you. If you think about a seed, and the seed, let's call it a tomato seed. The seed goes in the ground. What do you get back? Well, if you said a tomato plant, well, you'd be absolutely right. You plant a seed, but you don't get a seed. You get a plant. Now, let's imagine, I'm not a gardener, so I'm not really sure about this answer, but let's imagine, okay, that there's 10 tomatoes on that tomato plant. Okay, we planted one seed, we got 10 tomatoes. And let me ask you, in one tomato, how many seeds are there? Well, if you're like me, if you've ever cut a tomato, there's a lot of seeds. Now multiply that by the 10 tomatoes. And I want to show you that this is God's perspective on giving. So I want to inspire you to live full. We live full lives when we get unstuck from being stagnant in growth and in giving. And the truth is, as we give, we grow. So who can you give to this week? Who do you know needs an extra hand? Remember, sometimes our giving isn't around money. Sometimes it's that someone needs us to sit with them, maybe just for an hour. Maybe it's not about your time, or it's not about your treasure, right? Maybe it's about your talent. Maybe you're a phenomenal photographer. Maybe you do beautiful calligraphy. Whatever it is that you're able to do, I'm sure that you can find a place to release that gift, to bless someone else. And here's what I'm going to promise you. It's because God promised it first, is that as you give, you're going to grow and your joy is going to be increased. So I pray today for you to have a joyful life as you learn to better grow and better give. Peace and love.